Today, Scott and I have a little free time in between guided trips. We're both outfitters and guides in the state of Montana. And we're here on the Blackfoot River to pre-fish it before we get right back into the business of guiding. And it's kind of early in the season still. Conditions are variable. We'll see a lot of different weather, a lot of different insects, and we'll see a lot of different fishing conditions as we go down this beautiful river that most people probably know about from the movie A River Runs Through It. This is the big Blackfoot. A River Runs Through It was actually a story before it was a movie. But Norman McLean wrote quite lovingly about this river, and we're about to find out why. Scott, appreciate you rowing, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna jump in the front and we're gonna go find us some trots. Great thing about going with another guide is relaxing and having that guy row. I'm just gonna take in some scenery. This double nymph rig rocking. Small stonefly and big stonefly. We'll see what happens. You'll notice, as a guide, you run the ship, you're the captain. So Scott and I both, we talk a lot. We tell what's going on, but we're working as a team to see what's coming up, what we're getting into, and what we're gonna do. We're planning the whole way down. And even when you're floating with your best buddy who might be a guide, you're still gonna talk, you're still gonna communicate, and it makes the trip that much safer and that much more enjoyable.
All right, I'm going left here. I'm gonna pull away from the bank.
Got it? Facing the danger at the bow of the boat, because that is some interesting habitat. This is a good time as the person in the front to get your line in and not do anything. Get ready to push the trees away, because this is not easy rowing. Scott's doing a great job, and you can see we're surrounded by snags and danger. I mean, this is literally dangerous. If we go through here wrong, we'll flip. All right. So it's a good thing I was pulling my line in. We got tight to that bank. Scott, well, both of us discovered there's a snag that closes the channel on us. So we bailed out. We're gonna portage around another snag and carry the canoe over to a safer channel. Really good reason to do pre-floats. You never know what you're gonna run into. Get down, get down. Oh, that's a better drift down there. Right up into the woody debris. Fish love it. There we go. Beautiful. That was really strong. In fact, I'm gonna tighten up my drag.
All right, here we come.
Oh, this is a beautiful, amazing. I've got a 7-weight rod, and it is just bulldogging me down into the shadows. Oh, it just popped out of there.
All right, let's go up here to the left.
Get me out of these snacks.
That's a big fish, buddy.
Oh,
Stay nice.
get me out of this log. Oh, I got 2 of them.
You got 2 fish?
I had 2 bull trout.
One was after.
One of the bull trout took my dropper fly. A second one came up and smashed my point fly.
Okay, here we go.
Missed it though.
Here we go.
What an amazing surprise. Oh, we were just getting nothing through that really heavy, fast water. And now we have the apex predator of this river. The most aggressive feeding fish.
I didn't bring my net.
Because it only, I'll bail out on the bank. This fish only eats other organisms. It is a killer. Oh, and it is super strong. I know. I got my caddis chest waders on. I'm not afraid. Good, there it goes. All right. Wow. Wow. What an amazing fish. Whew. They just don't give up. Look at that rod bend. 7-weight glass rod, classically restored. I think I can get him over on this point. He wants to come up. Oh my goodness, look at the white leading edges, the salmon spots, no spots on the tail. It's a very good identifying characteristic. All right, here we come, here we come. All right, and its head comes up. I think I can drag it. Oh my goodness. The meanest fish in the river. The meanest fish in the river. Look at this pig. Oh. All right, I'm gonna be super careful with it. We'll just get a quick look at it. White leading edges, salmon spots. Looks a lot like a brookie, right? But it's not, it's a bull trout. Doesn't have the worm markings that a brookie has. You see, it's just a plain back, spots, no spots on the tail. Big time identifying characteristic. That way, when you catch one, you'll know what it is. You'll be very gentle with it and let her go back into the wild river that it came from. Right in the corner of the mouth. And this killer of the river is gone. That's a rare catch. There are not many bull trout because they eat so much. They are big, aggressive fish, and they were once eradicated purposefully because they were treated like wolves, like predators. They were killed as a predator. But now, with conservation and a change of values, we value the apex predator of the river. We'll catch it, let it go, and just wonder at all the darkness that they live in, but bringing a little bit of light to the conservation issue and the Blackfoot system, which is a very important fishery for their reproduction and for them staying on this planet. Thanks, Scott. Good job on the sticks, man. It's killer. Popping it up off that bottom, dragging the bottom pretty good. Should be something down there. You know there's fish behind there, but it's almost impossible to get your fly down there. All those huge boulders make big waves, but they make big pockets. Oh yeah, yep. Right under the overhanging tree. A really important component of fishing a boat is looking forward, looking what's down here and being aware of it, keeping it in your periphery so that you can be ready to fish it before you get to it. The habit of a lot of people is to just fish here, and this is where everyone's concentration is right here. And you'll see it often enough for at least a brief period of time is fine, but it helps when you're in a boat to look downstream, especially on a fast river system like the Blackfoot River. Things come up quick and you gotta be ready. Yeah. Behind the stick, actually. The real stick, not the oar stick. There we go. Nice. Yeah, this is a good run. I've got a lot of people into a lot of fish here. It's raining, it's pouring. The rain's coming down a bit. I'm gonna throw on another layer. Scott's gonna layer up and we're gonna I'm gonna bail out of this boat and go wade fish just a little bit. There's some water that we had to race past. I'm gonna go back and check her out. Man, it's getting chilly out. Rain's coming down. The layer up here, stocking hat and wool gloves on. That with a little water repellent jacket. Should be fine the rest of the way. Big part of fishing rivers with a lot of different currents and rocks and boulders is looking for seams, and in this case, so that's what we're looking for, whether it's the color of the water or just the curvature of the waves. We're looking for seams and edges all the way around through this Blackfoot River.
Got 'em?
Yeah, we got them. Good fish,
Okay,
again.
my goal is to get you down here on the left and get you
Oh, yeah. All right.
island coming up. That way you can hop out. That's a good fish. That's
It's a very good
big as
fish.
the other one you had.
Well, I like to catch big fish, I really do.
Size doesn't matter.
Size does not matter, but I am sure not gonna complain about a big fish. Especially on a rainy day like today. Look at this little specimen. Ugh. Took the point fly, beautiful brown trout, fat and wild, and actually a rare specimen up this far. It's more of a cold water fishery, but man, it's another aggressive feeder that actually competes with those bull trout for food. But it was a beautiful, hard fighting fish. And it's going back to the depths of the Blackfoot, where it'll keep getting bigger and eating more organisms. Beautiful fish, and on a rainy day like today, I'm very happy to see any one of the species that we could find here in the Blackfoot. Wow. This is the rig that's proven most successful so far. That brownie took this big beadhead, just kind of goofy looking streamer. It was a woolly worm that someone else tied. And I put on a little rabbit strip fur tail on there to make it look like a big goofy looking woolly bugger, but it works. Even in this muddy water, they can see those bright colors, and it looks like a little flesh dead something, who knows, but that's something that piscivores, or fish that eat other fish, are gonna eat. The other one that's been proving very successful is this very brightly colored beadhead pink worm. These fluorescent colors reflect on a different spectrum than a normal red or pink color, and they, in the off-colored water that we're seeing in the Blackfoot, is proving very effective. Boom! Fishing the seam, fishing the seam. Seemingly fishing, seemingly fishing. Fast water. This is a great example of, we've got two different seams coming together. We've got a clear water seam, we've got a dirty water seam, and they're just colliding right downstream of this island, making a terrific spot to fish more than just one seam at the exact same time. The more variables we get in that water current, color and the way that it's flowing, the more likely we are to hook up. This is a pretty killer place for lunch, Scotty. We're just gonna pull in right here.
Yep.
Looks good to me. Man, let's get a fire going and dry out a bit.
Sure is cold today.
Very cold. I'm surprised it's not snowing yet.
I like to do when I'm out in the bush in Montana is try and get a big piece of bark such as this one. After I get all my dry tinder, build it, and then what I do is I put this piece of bark over it. It's got a little bit of sap in it, so it's going to catch on fire pretty quick. And you can see we've been in a rainstorm all day. It's about maybe 35 degrees outside, and you can build a fire just about anywhere in Montana. But then what, you know, to try and get small tinder such as this, these little guys right here burn really well, even though they're wet. This little pine cone, you take them apart, he's full of sap and everything, and they burn really good. Another thing I like to do is clear the wet ground out, dig down to the dry ground. So on a cold day in Montana, after we get our #1 priority taken care of, which is the fire on the river, this is a pretty typical shore lunch we do every day. As a guide, this is our best meal. We don't get breakfast, we don't get dinner, because we're usually out of the house before breakfast is ready and dinner's well gone before we come home. What we have today is fresh corn on the cob, and this is a deer that I shot this year, right after my youngest daughter was born. Addie Jane.
Well, Scott, that was a great lunch. Thanks for cooking it up. And it's good to warm up by the fire, which of course we have dead out now. Just be grass in a little bit, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Well, let's go hit the river, man. But how about for a change, I row for a little bit?
Sounds good.
Scott, you see that, man? Little salmon fly nymph right there, just crawling out on the shore, getting ready to emerge in the willows. Look.
Well, I know what I'm going to.
Yeah, I guess we might as well about time to switch to the nymphs.
Yeah.
Man, if they're crawling up into the shallow water, we could really start looking at those banks a little bit harder. This could be good, man. Good luck.
A husk.
Oh yeah, there's a husk there. So they're just starting to crawl out. Oh, they are gonna blow up. Here's another one.
Yeah.
Here's a third one.
Fourth.
Oh, dude, they're all over.
Yeah.
Check this out, we found them. And what he found is there's just a pile of Pteronarcis californicus and some other actually Pteronarcis species. There's a bunch of different quote-unquote salmon flies. There can be a whole bunch of different colors. But there's a pile of them. And they're all crawling out, these big old ancient stonefly nymphs that need a lot of oxygen to live. And they're just now crawling out of the water onto the bank for the first time to emerge into winged adults. They're all just getting ready to pop. They like this woody material, detritus. And actually the leaves of the willows are what they'll eat as nymphs, so they really get used to having woody material around as nymphs, and they'll crawl out a lot of times onto the willows to emerge as adults. Once again, in a river system, large woody debris is a very important factor of a healthy river. Nice find, Scott. Keep the sun off your ears or what?
Yeah, it's my lucky hat.
Can't argue with luck. All right, man, here we go. All right, Scotty's got one, etiquette. Worked right up into the bubbles. And Scott hooks up. All right, we're gonna come in hot here, Scott. I'm gonna throw the anchor down. Well, now right here. Nice, that's a beautiful cutthroat. Native and everything, that's 2 natives. West slope cutthroat and the bull trout.
Whoops, there he goes.
And there he is, back into the water. Safe and sound. Atta kid, Scotty. That's rough water. We got all these swirling eddies. That's hard to hold a good drift on the boat's part as well as the fly's part. That was a good job, man. Good hook set.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a lot of crazy currents to get fish out of. There we go. Natives today, working together. Our day off. And they're not super hungry today, man. Our best guess is that cold water and the rain, the water's coming up a bit. Cold weather system's just shutting them down, but we're managing. All right, Scotty, man. It was a day off for us, and seemed like a lot of the fish were taking a day off, but man, that bull trout sure made the day for me. I really appreciate you putting some time into the sticks for me.
You're welcome.
So you got a trip tomorrow. What did you learn from today that you're gonna put into play tomorrow?
Hopefully it's going to be a little bit more warm, and the salmon flies we saw up there, hopefully they'll come out.
Hopefully it will be warmer for you. I don't know if we have any more wool sweaters left.
Yeah.
That was a good time, man. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to your trip. Can't wait to hear about it. Be checking on your Facebook page, and hopefully the viewers will check ours as well for some updates.
Yeah, definitely.
Take her easy.
It's cold.
Let's go get that shuttle run. Get much cuter than that.